I've been asked a number of times to create a video that will help you improve your vocabulary so you can be more articulate when you speak. When these suggestions came through, I thought they were such a fantastic idea for this channel because I know how much the vocabulary that you use can have such a profound impact on your overall message and on your overall communication. The vocabulary you use can really help to make you sound a lot clearer, help you sound a lot more intelligent, and at the end of the day, who doesn't want that? So leading up to creating this video, I've been listening very carefully to conversations. I've been watching a lot of movies, listening to podcast episodes, and listening to interviews as well to help identify the vocabulary that would be most helpful for you. And I've chosen 3 words that I'm going to share with you in this video, and these words will basically replace general vocabulary that you no doubt use on an everyday basis, and it will help replace those words with vocabulary that is a lot more solid and a lot more convincing. It's very likely I will do more videos like this in the future, so if you like this video, if you like the idea of this video, then please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell too so you can be notified when I do release more videos like this. And let's get straight to the content. The first word I want to share with you is consider. So consider is often used when we receive an idea, when we receive a suggestion, or when we receive some kind of information. Consider is a good word to use if you want to replace the general word that we probably use on an everyday basis, think. For example, I will think about the options you've presented, or I'm thinking about your request. There is nothing wrong fundamentally with using the word think like I did in these examples, but if you want to add more variety to your vocabulary, if you want to sound a lot more impactful, then it's a good idea to swap think for consider. For example, I will consider the options you've presented, or I'm considering your request. The main reason consider sounds a lot punchier and a lot more impactful is because it eliminates unnecessary words. So when you shorten your sentences and when you eliminate unnecessary words, it helps you to make your communication a lot clearer and a lot more impactful as well. So the sentence, I will think about the options you have presented, uses 9 words, whereas the sentence, I will consider the options you have presented uses 8 words. By swapping think about with consider, it really does help to reduce the amount of words that you use in your sentence, make your sentence sound a lot punchier and more impactful too. Try using this activity to start using consider more in your vocabulary when you speak. I'm going to present with you a sentence on the screen. I want you to replace the word think in that sentence with the word consider. I'm going to give you a few seconds to repeat the sentence out loud using the word consider to get used to saying the word consider instead of the word think. Here we go. Thanks for the projections you sent through. I will think about how this impacts our profit margin. So now repeat that sentence using the word consider. Do you see how this changes your communication? So the second word I want to teach you in this video is suggest. Suggest meaning to advise or to plan. Suggest is a great word to replace say or tell. For example, let me tell you what I think. Do you have anything to say? You can replace these simple common verbs with suggest and make your communication a lot more impactful. For example, instead of saying, let me tell you what I think, you could say, let me suggest a different perspective. Instead of, do you have anything to say, you can replace that with, do you have any suggestions? I really like using the word suggest in my communication because I feel that it implies you are inviting the other person's opinion, you're inviting the other person's perspective, and inviting other people into the conversation, getting them to share their thoughts, their ideas, and their opinions with you is incredibly important in today's workplace. It is even more important if you are looking to become a leader. It makes your communication a lot softer, and it really helps you to move it from being authoritative communication to more open, honest, and inclusive communication. So let's see how you go using the word suggest. What would you say instead of this? Let me tell you about the solution I see. How would you change this sentence so you can use the word suggest? Here's another example. Can I say something? How would you change this sentence using the word suggest? So after these two activities, can you see how using the word suggest can make your communication a lot more open and a lot more inviting to other people? The third word I want to share with you is presume, which means to take something for granted or to suppose. Presume is a good word to use instead of saying I guess, which you would commonly use when you want to venture a thought without knowing all of the facts, without having all of the information, or when you want to venture a thought when you want clarification on that thought. For example, I guess these projections are correct, or I guess you're not going to finish that report on time. In these examples, you can replace guess with presume. For example, presuming these projections are correct, we are not going to meet our financial forecast. I presume when you say the budget cuts are going to affect every department, you include us. Presume is an elegant way of disclosing that you don't have all the facts, you don't have all the information, and in a way it warns or prepares the listener for that in the conversation. It helps them prepare their expectations so they don't expect you to know 100% or to be clear 100% on what you're going to say. Whereas if you speak without knowing or without having all of the information, which does sometimes happen during meetings or general conversations, it doesn't make you sound smart. All it does is it makes you sound like somebody who isn't intelligent enough to express that they don't know. If you are unsure of the facts, if you are not 100% certain about what you are going to say, you can prelude what you're going to say with I presume or I assume. That's an alternative that you can use. And this is a way that you can inject yourself into the conversation despite the fact that you are not 100% sure of what you are going to tell people. One of the things I do know as a leadership coach is that a lot of people hold back because they are not 100% sure about what they're saying. But just because you aren't 100% sure, it doesn't mean you should refrain from putting yourself in the conversation. It is still very important that you inject yourself in the conversation when you can. So using presume or I assume, like I alternatively suggested to you a moment ago, will help you inject yourself in the conversation and also help people form the expectation that you are not 100% certain on what you are going to tell them. It helps to take the pressure off of you. It helps to set realistic expectations with your audience. And it also helps you to invite them into the conversation so they can add on their thoughts or their information if they have additional information than what you have. Using the same activity we have been doing throughout this video, let's see how you go using the word presume. Since the estimates for product XYZ won't be ready until Friday, I suppose we can expect the report after that. Repeat that sentence using the word presume. What would you say instead of this? Alex, I suppose you're willing to take care of the quarterly projections? And repeat that sentence using the word presume. So from these two examples, I presume that you understand how much stronger your sentence sounds. At the end of the day, it is all about elevating your communication, about using vocabulary that you don't normally use to make what you have to say pop, and to help you sound more articulate and intelligent as well. I would love to know in the comments below how these words have helped you with your communication. Have you tried them out? What was the impact when you used them? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be back next week with another video.